Out of every game developer and publisher, there's no one with an ego quite as big as Level 5. Sure, you have EA and Ubisoft. They're shitty in their own special ways. But Level 5's ego is more inflated than any piece of Twitter fetish art. Never have I ever come across an organization or an individual with a bigger head than these pieces of shit. They are the bottom of the barrel. They deserve nothing. They are the epitome of arrogance and narcissism. You could get 100 people in a room and their collective ego would be lower than that of Mr. Akihiro Hina. This cuck has single-handedly killed the home of my favorite character. I hate him and I hope he loses everything and has to live on the streets of O-Block for the rest of his life. But it wasn't always like this. There was in fact a time when Level 5 made good games that also came out. A completely unreasonable expectation for them nowadays, I know. But back then, their games released. Now, you may be asking, what could have caused such a disturbance in the force? What could have made this CEO start to enjoy sitting in a chair and watching his girlfriend get absolutely pounded by a big burling man? Well, I'll tell you. It all started with this pervert cat. Yokai Watch was a cultural phenomenon in Japan. It was everywhere. Grocery stores, malls, gas stations, trains, buses, bathrooms. You could not get away from it. You'd be hard-pressed to go to Japan during Yokai Watch's peak and not find something related to the franchise. Its sales in the US were mediocre at best. But that was alright. I mean, my dumb ass ate it up. I bought the medals, I had the watches. Yokai Watch merchandise was one of the first things I bought from Japan. So with something that had that much of an effect on me, surely the game was good. The first game was mid at best, and the anime got drier than my cumsock after like 12 episodes. Yokai Watch 2, on the other hand, was elite. While the first game was a moderate success in Japan, the second game is where shit really took off. But the Western market still wasn't super locked into this newfangled franchise. So what was Mr. Cuck's solution? How about we make a Yokai Watch game where the main character moves from Japan to the United States of America? You're telling me that this little cuckold made a whole ass video game dedicated to the American audience, and not once, for the entirety of its development, did anyone, any single soul, notice that in the Western versions of the games, the characters already live in the US? How the fuck was no one like, wait, guys, this makes no sense. How are the characters moving to the country that they already live in? I think we need to think this through a bit more before, oh wait, the game's done. Never mind, I'll go fuck myself. So with the absolute buffoonery going on at the Level 5 headquarters, the localization team must have worked actual miracles in order to get this game to... This could have been a chance for Level 5 to make yokai designs that were based off of American folklore, like the Headless Horseman, Bigfoot, Skinwalkers, shit like that. And before you get all, oh, that's too scary for kids, they can't possibly make a Skinwalker cutesy. Kappas eat children. You know what 3's designs look like? Burger. Bacon. Cheerleader. Chicken nugget. Baseball. Rapper Koopa. Hell, the only ones I remembered off the top of my head, excluding the mascots, was the damn burger and the cheerleader. That's it. They're either mad ugly, redos of bits they already did, recolors, parodies, or one of the 4 good original designs. Although 3 was the best game thus far, Yokai Watch started struggling in Japan alongside the US. There was a noticeable fall in sales from 2 to 3, and to no one's surprise, the anime was struggling alongside it. With all these shitty numbers, Yokai Watch needed a comeback. So how did Hino the Cuck decide to go about this revival of sorts? Does he make a change in the anime that would make it better and more funny and good? Or maybe he puts more than 20 minutes of thought into a game before making it? Neither. Hino the Cuck, in his million IQ brain, said, I want to rebrand. Alright, to be completely fair, I've heard Shadow Side is leagues better than the first anime. The show has actual storytelling and character growth, allegedly. But to me, this is like if they turned Family Guy into a TV drama. Like, it could be the best, most perfectly written, most elegant and cinematic TV drama ever created, but it's still Brian Griffin. Like, how are you gonna take this cat, whose main character traits were that he was a lazy, bum, piece of shit, nuisance pervert, and give him a deep voice and make him all serious looking? Shadow Side takes itself a little too seriously for my liking, especially compared to the first show. But the games always took themselves relatively seriously compared to the anime. Sometimes more than even Pokemon, especially in like Yokai Watch 2. So 4 being based more on Shadow Side didn't really bother me as much. Yokai Watch 4 released in Japan for the Nintendo Switch family of systems in 2019. And this was easily the prettiest, biggest, fullest Yokai Watch experience ever created by Hino's cuck ass. It easily has the best roster of yokai and the best battle system, taking inspiration from Yokai Watch Busters. It just had one tiny flaw. This game deadass broke like every 30 minutes. I remember when I was playing it for the first time, I had to go through that part where you have to fight a bunch of bosses only as Toma, and since I can't read Japanese, I didn't know that the game had a skill tree. Everybody was on level 1, including Toma. So I spent like an hour or two trying to get past this part with this kid that looks like he has a Bart Simpson profile picture, and I was pissed. I was shitting myself, steam fuming out of my ears type shit. And after like 2 hours, I was finally done. I finally beat it, and then the game crashed. So to absolutely nobody's surprise, Yokai Watch 4 failed. And while I personally didn't like the direction that the anime was taking, a lot of people really did. And, you know, they were kinda right. It was a lot better than the first anime. It was really good. So they kept it going. See, I did that thing again. I lied. Because King Cuck was such a future-sighted genius, it ran short. And instead of replacing it with something different, or better, or good, they decided to make a sequel to the old Yokai Watch anime. So what was different? Well, there was so much different that they rebranded a third time. I don't want to talk about this. It's ass. It's buns. It's cheeks. It's garbage. I don't know if it's good. And quite frankly, I don't care. Apparently it takes place like 1,000,000 years in the future or something, and the yokai we knew from the first anime and games are all humans now, and they have watches. But they can transform instead of summon yokai, and I don't fucking care. Get this shit off my screen. It failed. Again. It's like repeating an unfunny joke when you think people don't hear you. Only the difference is everybody's screaming at you to stop, and you keep going! There hadn't been any news on a new game for several years at that point. The English localization of Yokai Watch 4 was long overdue, being promised back in 2019. Yokai Watch Busters 2 also never made it to the US, and it was probably for the best. It was a buggy, unfinished mess just like Yokai Watch 4 was. But there was a small glimmer of hope. A godly light shining at the end of a tunnel full of sewage, semen, and shit. Nostalgia. And even though it's in a crater larger than an OF model right now, It was massive in 2015. It's not like people don't know what this game is. In the US it might not be big, but at the very least, if level 5 plays their cards right, it could still be successful in Japan. Everyone who played Yokai Watch back in 2013 was in their late teens to 20s now. That's prime gaming nostalgia age. Please, you fat fucking chud. All you have to do is remake, hell, port the second game to Switch. It was by far the most popular. Put that game, that masterpiece, on one of the most sold game consoles of all time, and you have a surefire hit. And Mr. Cuck Bitch Chud Akihiro Hino said, "Yes sir, yes sir, this is the new Yokai Watch 2 remake I've been waiting for."
僕らにとっての特別な作品だったんで、
I can't understand you. I don't know that. This is the new game.
10年ってもうあっという間だ。最新の技術でスマートウォッチのようにいろんなアニメーションとかできるんですけど、時代を超えて取り出してきてるんで、
I knew the new game was on Apple Watch.
感動的です。
See, I'm an analyst like that. I'm just real different. This coincides with a new game though, right? This is a Yokai Watch trilogy. All the 3DS games are coming to Nintendo Switch fully remade. Oh, I know what it is. It's Yokai Watch 5. So where's the game? That's it. That's all we got. No game, no anime. All that we got was this $150 Apple Watch wannabe. What kind of room temperature IQ Neanderthal would buy something as useless? Cuck Bitch Chud III's ego spread to other franchises too, just in case you thought he didn't ruin enough. Both Deca Police and Professor Layton were announced in 2023 and slated for a release that same year. We have not seen any semblance of gameplay for this fuck-ass game. And the same goes for Professor Layton. They were both at least mentioned in the AI Slop Level 5 Vision presentation. Were you hoping for more? They were mentioned. They had a new trailer play with zero gameplay in it, might I add, and they were brushed under the rug again to make way for the main event, AI Slop. I hate you. I hate everything about you. I hate everything you stand for. Your ego is bigger than my dick after looking at a Pokemon trainer. I hope your company fails so that someone with more than 12 brain cells can make a good video game with my favorite character in it. Jeffrey Epstein is more likable than this egotistical, narcissistic, mindless, self-centered cuck of a man.